Hello, and welcome to Pro Trader Strategies Market Commentary for Monday, April 11th. My name's Eric Wilkinson. Some of you may recognize me as the Wolfman from CNBC, Fox Business, or even the Wall Street Journal, where I've commented on everything from economic to geopolitical and market analysis. Please keep in mind that everything that we talk about in these daily market commentaries is not a solicitation to buy or sell any of these securities or strategies. At the end of the day, we're here to teach you some different strategies that you can implement into your own portfolios, but please do that in your own way. The reason why I can't give you a recommendation on a particular stock or strategy is because I don't know your risk parameters. I don't know what's in your portfolios. Therefore, what I'm doing could be counterintuitive to what you are already doing. Having that out of the way, not a whole lot of economic data coming out today, but it is a little volatile because yesterday the Fed came out and announced that they were going to have a closed meeting under expedited procedures. Now, what does that mean? Nobody really knows. They don't know if they're going to off meeting raise rates or if they're going to lower rates. This is causing a lot of volatility in the market. Kind of brings me back to the Greenspan era when I was in the Fed Fund futures and we had a closed meeting with Alan Greenspan. And in that time, the Fed would just come out and announce a rate hike without even letting anybody know that they even had a meeting. So we talked to him about that and said, do you realize the turmoil you cause in these markets? You know, we have banks in here with positions on, and if you off meeting announce, like those guys get picked off, so do the locals and everybody else. So there's a lot of money that could be lost on an off meeting move. Nice to know that at least they're announcing they're having a meeting and that there's a possibility so people can shore up their positions and hedge appropriately. Like I said in the past, before Greenspan, they could just go and raise 1 basis point at any given time, and that was pretty harmful to the overall market. So at least they're announcing that they're having a meeting. Whether or not they come out with any type of decision is yet to be seen. This is kind of unprecedented since those Greenspan meetings. So anyway, moving on. Overall markets, crude oil pushing higher. U.S. dollars losing a little bit of the ground that it kind of gained on Friday. As we've talked about this is into the $40 barrel range, which is, I think, the sweet spot for just about everybody. It needs to get a little higher for the Balkan oil fields to really start making money, but at least they aren't as worried about having to shut down a lot of those fracking plants, because when they have to shut down and restart up, it costs a lot more money than it does to kind of just lose a little bit of money moving forward. So interesting to see there. As you can see, this is GDX. This should be GLD. GLD, but as you can see, all the gold's basically pushing higher. The reason why is because there's uncertainty as to what the Fed is going to do. So as you can see here in the Spider ETF, pushing much higher, up, $1.69 ish on the day, up in the 120s. So this is some of that volatility we're seeing from that whole Fed announcement that they're going to do a closed door meeting and possibly have a rate move. The overall markets were up earlier this morning right at that value area, as you can see with the /NQ, the NASDAQ, E-mini NASDAQ. But since then, the euphoria has kind of slowly drifted downward. Still up on the day, almost 11 points in the NASDAQ. Onto the /ES, which is the E-mini S&Ps, right there, just treading water above, positive, up 2 points on the day. If we go to the breakdown of the E-mini S&Ps, as you can see here, the last hour, I would say, or so, the overall market has just slumped off the highs and is really close to the point of control for the last several days. On to a couple of things that I've done. Now, when we did this webinar on Friday, I talked about selling put spreads in several of these different underlyings. One of them was in GDXJ, which is the junior gold miners. Now, because gold is up so much, I don't really want to be selling a put spread in there because the market's spiked higher. I don't want to be chasing that in case nothing happens today. We could really see gold come off quite a bit. So I'm staying away from that one. But in XOP, I went into the May and did the 28.30 put spread and collected 56 cents for that. It's right there within that 25 to 30% of the width of those strikes. For a $2 wide strike, that would be 50 to 66 cents. So right within that wheelhouse for that one. The other one is in General Mills, which is ticker symbol GIS. Now this was one that, the participation back and forth was something that didn't come up on my radar, but fit the parameters perfectly. So I ended up implementing this one. And that's what's great about these different webinars is, I'm going over teaching you guys the strategies. And then I ask during that, hey, throw me out some stocks and see if these will fit the parameters. Now, I'd say about 90% of them don't, but this one happened to work out and it was great because it wasn't on my radar. The GDXJ was going to be the one that I was pretty sure I was going to put in. This one fit the bill, so this is just a perfect complement to that strategy. Plus, we're a bit down off the highs of the day, while the rest of this retail sector and the consumer staples is moving higher, like Pepsi and several others, Philip Morris making new highs. So this one has should have a tendency to drag along with that and maybe push higher also. It made the new highs a little bit a few days ago, and this is probably a bit of profit taking, but we could see the rest of the sector pull this one up as well. So I decided to put it on in here, and this is the May 62.5 put spread, and I collected 82 cents for that trade. So that one works out nicely, gets me above this support. Should be a support here. Hopefully we can come down, maybe test that, and then rally higher and test those all-time highs. We also have high implied volatility in there, so it fit the bill perfectly with no earnings in that next cycle. So it couldn't work out better for this strategy. So go to ProTraderStrategies.com, check out that webinar. It's a really good one. That's about all I got for you guys today, other than if you can't take that, take it easy.